Guys, I wanted to come very quickly and talk about leg day and our habit of the day today. It's day 5 of 80-day obsession, and for me, leg day always means also Erev Shabbat, Eve of the Sabbath, which means my house is a little crazy, my kids are all around, so it's definitely an added challenge to leg day. The magic of leg day is taking the simplest movements and adding weight to them, and instead of taking the simplest movement, which is the most functional thing you do, squatting, bending down, sitting down, standing up, lunging, the most simple movements, and transforming them into something that completely takes your strength to another level. And as somebody who was very kind of old school, and I swam and I did Zumba and I did cardio, I had no idea that when you lift weights and use your legs, that your heart rate races beyond anything that you remember happening, even during the best cardio workout that you've been doing. So you see this? That is my reminder of what I need to eat next. So for me, that's my shake. So I have it all ready to go for my time nutrition. And the habit of the day today is really that it's the most simple, basic things that tend to create the greatest change. You know, it's not knowing how to be a gourmet cook that's going to make the difference of whether or not you're enjoying healthy food. It's just whether or not you're willing to put in the time and get the experience to cook simple things for yourself. You know, we don't have to be the best parents in the world on day one. We get better from doing the simplest things. Every time we change a diaper, we're a little better at it. Every time we dry the tears, we're a little better at it. Every time we lose our temper, we get a little better at keeping that control. So I think that is the habit of leg day, is the idea of taking the simplest things, and if you keep doing them and you keep building strength and endurance and stamina in those simple things in your life, you get better and you can transform everything else. As hard as it is to do those long races and those Zumba classes and everything else where your heart is racing and you really feel like you worked out, in fact, it's the simple things that make the biggest changes. If we take those simple things and we put all our effort there, our heart is going to race just as much. We're going to feel just as much like we made progress in our life. But the trick is to track it and to put the effort there and to watch it improve. You know, we always say that washing dishes and folding laundry are the hardest tasks because they never, ever end. Well, guess what? Leg day feels like it never ends, because for the rest of the day, every time you bend down to pick something up or you sit down or get up from a chair, you're like, wow, I really use these muscles like constantly, and they're sore if you did it right. So it's the same thing with those daily tasks, right? The better we get at them, the faster they go, and the more we realize how much they are the glue that kind of keeps everything rolling. Because when we don't do them, everything feels like it's all messed up and falls behind. It's the same thing with that simple mobility. We who are not grateful for our mobility look at somebody who all of a sudden loses it, and that's pain. So being grateful for our mobility, working on it, increasing it in the most basic actions are what's going to create these big, big results. Day 5, leg day, 80-day obsession. And I'm ready for Shabbat. Made some healthy food, made sure that I have the right combinations of food available at each meal. And then I printed out today some artwork for my living room that, again, speaks to me and reminds me of my purpose and my vision for success. I am enough. Who I am is enough. What I do is enough. What I have is enough. And putting that somewhere I can see it from my dining room table. And we also did a Birkat Habayit, a blessing for the home in Hebrew for the Sabbath. And we have those things up. And that's to remind me and to remind everybody else that this isn't just my journey. This is our family journey, because when mom is changing, everybody's changing. Life is changing. So by putting my vision somewhere I can see it, it's absolutely going to help me to stay focused on my goals for Shabbat, because, again, this is a habit transformation program. It's not just about losing a certain amount of weight. It's about being disciplined for 80 days straight and with 40,000 friends and watching the magic that can happen when you're part of a movement. So join the movement and work on those habits. Have a great Shabbat.